Hi friends, welcome back to Dergy Playin Virtue's Last Reward. I am just deciding what the shit ending to do now. Do I even do Betray? Especially considering everything I know about them. That he needs to find Akane, right? That's why he needed to leave. I really don't want to do this half right now, but I probably have to. But if I don't have to get to the true ending, I probably won't. But see, now I just realized, was this ever green before? I'm not sure, because I think that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do green question mark endings, unless that's not an option, and then I'll decide what else to do. Because this is how you progress. Hey, now we can know where Alice went, but when is this? Where did she go? Oh, this is probably when we didn't end up finding her body? She just disappeared? I don't remember when the fuck this was. This one was a while ago, I know that. No, never mind, no, it wasn't. It's archives. We just did the archives. Okay. Did she disappear? This time? I forgot, even though it was rather recent. In fact, I've been recording this is now the third consecutive recording day I've done. I haven't done that yet with this game. But now I'm falling into a rhythm where this is like the most mentally helpful thing in my entire life, so I do these videos every day now. No one here, huh? Damn, where did she go? And suddenly the world shifted. Wait. I thought it was going to do the timey-wimey. Wait. For an instant, I was somewhere else entirely. Okay, so some morphogenetic fields bullshit is happening, okay. My mind reeled, and then, just as I begun to adjust, it was gone. As if nothing had happened. Excuse me, what? What was that? It was the same sensation I'd felt when I saw the vision of the bombs exploding. Oh wait, we don't see the vision of the bombs in that other ending, do we? Which is why he's like, bombs? What fucking bomb? Because yeah, you don't see that in that side of the story. This is where the bombs are exploding. Okay. Had it been a premonition? This is bad. I need to find Alice now. But where could she be? Damn it, Alice, where are you? Can I save here? Yes. Just in case this can't be fucked up. Yeah, this gets across just how much more there is left of the game. The fact that there are at least 8 endings that I need to do, even though there's only like 5 more rooms to do that I know of. But I wouldn't put it past this game if there were more escape rooms past even the 15 that have cards, but we'll see. Especially because, well, the true ending that have, I said cards, I meant, that have, files. Like, for example, in 9, the true ending consists of, like, 3 more rooms or something, in addition to the rest of the route, so. I think crew quarters, because, like, that's where we saw her, right? What about the crew quarters? Yeah, it has to be it. I set off at a dead run. I think I did it. No lying down on the job. I got an achievement for that. But yeah, like, I had to think, like, where does she die? The crew quarters. I think that has to be the right answer. Because part of me went garden, because there was a point where we found her in the garden. But I don't remember where that is. In fact, I'm pretty sure they want you to give that as the first answer, because I think it's the first answer. But she dies in the crew quarters, and we've seen her do it like 3 or 4 times now. The moment I entered the crew hallway, I made straight for the door to the number 2 room. Yeah, I definitely chose the right thing, because yeah. Alice should be in here. I swallowed and threw open the door. Yeah, she's about. We prevented her death this time, or at least we can, hopefully. We found her alive. Alice, so you were here. As I spoke, her eyes turned toward mine, but I didn't get the feeling that they were looking at me. Her skin was pale and sickly, and one of her hands held the scalpel like I'd caught her in the middle of something.
What are you doing here?
It's okay. I'm just here to help you.
Help me? What do you mean?
Just let go of that scalpel.
No, I need it to get this bracelet off.
Huh?
Remember what Zero Jr. told us? The bracelet comes off when your heart stops. So I just have to...
Jesus. Wait, what? That's what she does it for? Oh my god. Fuck how good this cutscene is for such an oof moment. Especially because we've already seen her die several times. Stop. Before I even finished the word, I was running. I grabbed both her arms and wrenched them back, pulling the blade away from her chest. This is why this is in the trailer. God, I thought she was trying to kill you in this scene, but now I know the context. It's even oofer for some reason.
Let me go! I have to do this! I can't take it anymore. This whole thing is like a nightmare I can't wake up from. The only way I'm going to get out of here is to die!
Knock it off. With a grunt, I tore the scalpel from her hands. It was a second before I felt a burning pain in my left hand. Oh, ooh, ouch. I guess he got cut. I'd apparently cut myself from getting the damn thing away from her. Very quickly, it progressed from a dull throbbing to a hot line of pain across my palm. I clenched my teeth and squeezed my hand tight. I was so focused on my pain that I barely heard Alice collapse. Huh, yeah, there she goes. She didn't respond when I shook her. Hey, are you alright? Alice, say something. There was a moment of terror before I realized she was still breathing. I didn't know why, but it seemed she'd only passed out. Why would she just die on the spot, though? But, I mean, I guess that is a thing that happens because of certain medical conditions and stuff, but let's not think about that. Shit, what am I supposed to do now? Oh, man. Maybe the infirmary? It's got all those medical things. Buoyed by adrenaline, I hefted Alice's body and took off toward the infirmary. She seems like a pretty tall lady, so that must be a little bit of a feat, except while Sigma, especially from the official art, seems like a pretty strong and big dude, so...
Please pay attention, everyone. You need to hear this. The Atom has finished scanning Alice.
What did it say?
Her results are identical to Quark's. She has also been infected with Radical 6.
If I had called everyone else back after I brought Alice to the infirmary, I'm glad we finally prevented her death this time. 7 sets of eyes widened as Luna spoke.
Oh no.
No! What's going to happen to her?
Well, like I said before, there's only one way to cure Radical 6. It's a special antiviral treatment. Whether or not there's any around here, though.
No! No! Oh, Alice! I don't want you to die! Please, please don't die! I don't want to be alone! Don't die!
Clover wrapped her arms... There's so much oof this particular episode. I'm sorry, guys, I guess? Though I guess Happy Halloween. Well, I mean, it's a little early to say that. Although, granted, you will see this way after Halloween. But it's like October 30th. So, Halloween's tomorrow as of recording. But anyway, Clover wrapped her arms around Alice's unconscious body and began to sob. None of us had the heart to pull her off, so all we could do was stand and watch uncomfortably.
Ten minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Guys, I think we should get back to the warehouse.
What about Alice and Quark?
I guess we're just gonna have to leave them behind.
No! I'm not leaving!
Clover.
I'm staying here! Like heck, I'm gonna leave Alice all alone!
She's going to be fine. I gave her some Soparil. She'll just be sleeping like Quark.
I don't care! I just want to stay with her. She shouldn't have to be all by herself.
Everything's coming up Sigma, huh? What a lucky, lucky man you are. You two are gonna be playing against Clover. If she doesn't vote, then she'll default to ally. That means if she stays here, the two of you are gonna be sitting pretty. Especially you, Sigma. After all,
what?
You've got 6
Oh my god! Oh man, oh fuck this game, you know why? Okay. Holy shit. Okay, I want to see what's behind the number 9 door. Obviously. And also, Clover has opened the door despite us twice now. But, like, are you saying I'm gonna choose Betray?
If you do, you'll get what you need to escape.
You bastard. There's no way I'd do... Honestly, as a player, there's a lot of ways I'd do that. Again, I think I'm gonna do that. I don't feel wonderful about it, but this game really is compelling in regards to choosing betray in a lot of these situations. Oh, man. Most of them. I think the point is you're supposed to feel like you should choose betray. Dude, man.
Is that so?
It's like, I think, like, a huge, like, thematic point is, like, survival versus kindness. You know? But, oof, man. Yes, it is so. For one, I'm not the only one making this decision. Luna's my partner, and she'll be in the AB room with me. You'd think she'd just stand by and let me do something like that. Back me up here, Luna.
Well, actually, I was planning to let you make the decision.
See? Told you. You can lie to us if you want, but you can't lie to yourself.
Shut up. What?
If I might make a suggestion, what if Sigma and Luna both remained here? Should all three of you abstain, then you would all be guaranteed to ally.
Honestly, as much as I want to see the number 9 door, I really like that idea. I hope it doesn't work like that.
Why not?
Oh, that's right! That's right. The cavat. That would be great in an ideal world, but there's got to be some uncertainty because, you know, that's the point, I guess. So yeah, again, it's the point where not everyone knows about the whole, well, what he's about to read here. Here, take a look at this. Well, this got paper we'd found out of my pocket.
Huh? What's this?
We found it when we went to the archives.
There wasn't anything like this in the pantry.
I really do wonder why some rooms just do not have these rules and others do. I really wonder what the hell... Ace, I'm just gonna say it's probably him. What the hell the point of that is. Because there's gotta be a point of it. All this stuff is meticulously planned using the morphogenetic field stuff, so like, there's gotta be a reason why some of the rooms do not have these rules. So for some fucking reason, some people are not supposed to see the rules. I don't know why, but there's gotta be a reason for it.
Nothing in the garden either.
I guess they only put one in the archives. Whatever. I'll just read it for you. Here are some more... well, you know, we've read this a lot of times at this point, so... Get it? The whole team can't abstain.
That means either Dio or Tenmyoji's going to have to vote then, and they're playing against Alice. Oh. I guess playing against is a little generous.
She's gonna ally, too. So Alice is guaranteed to vote ally, which means if Dio picks betray.
Knock it off. You trying to get back at me for what I said earlier?
Considering it's you and we've seen what you are capable of, motherfucker. Yes. And also, I think you are exactly planning to do that at this point.
No way am I gonna choose betray.
You fucking liar. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. Extremely.
You do know her BP's at 1, right?
You've killed Sigma without a fucking second thought. Or at least, we're okay with the idea of doing so.
What do you think would happen to her if I did that?
I don't think you care.
Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized, just like when you break the rules.
Although granted, if he can't get out, maybe he doesn't want to risk the repercussions of killing her. Like, if he's not gonna get 9 BP this way. But yeah, this is a particularly, AB game scenario here. I wouldn't put it past you.
What?
Cool it, boys.
I really wouldn't put it past him. In fact, Tenmyoji wouldn't either, but interestingly enough, Tenmyoji I say of all people is being the voice of reason, but like, it's weird because he also has a lot of tendencies that aren't very helpful for amiability, but he's got wisdom and he's trying to actually prevent the Zero this time from doing what he's doing. We now know it's a he. I think it's probably Ace.
Don't worry. I'm gonna be in that room too. I planned to stay here with Quark, just to make sure he was safe. But it doesn't look like I'm gonna have that luxury. I can't trust Dio to make a decision for all 3 of us. That means we're gonna be sharing a room, bucko. I've got my eye on you. Happy now, Sigma?
Yeah, thanks. That's a relief.
Exactly.
Oh man, everybody's against me.
Yeah, Maybe it's because you're an asshole. Asshole.
Whatever shall I do?
Can't be too careful. I wouldn't want to see Alice killed by an unfortunate accident.
What do you mean, accident?
Oh, Tenmyoji, before we went into the CDs, you told Alice there was something you wanted to tell her. What was it?
I don't think he's gonna say that.
Huh? Oh, that, well, I mean, look, it wasn't important. Just forget about it.
I knew he'd do that, but I have a feeling we might learn it.
Until
This route, I would hope so.
polling
Because
closes.
he brought it up again. I don't think it's been brought up, except for in that particular context yet, so that's promising. This whole ending is very promising to me.
Time's running out, people. Clover and I will stay here and keep an eye on Alice and Quark. Everyone else needs to go.
What?
You're staying too?
Yeah, if something does happen, Clover might need a hand.
Aren't you a solo? You're playing against Kay and Quark, but with Quark out. That means Kay would get to decide this whole round.
Are you saying that you trust me?
Yes.
Huh? She's made it extremely clear that she does not trust him. Many, many times. So why?
Even though I have 6 BP.
Yeah, especially because of that. What? No, I'm really confused. Why the fuck does she trust him here?
Yes.
Huh. Unless she's lying about that, but why would she? That's pretty risky, right? Unless... Is she trying to manipulate him into picking Ally? I don't know, man.
Whoa. Are you nuts?
Yeah. Especially because of how much Fi has railed against Kay in the past. I honestly, again, as much as I hate Dio, he says some valid shit, like right now. There's actually been a few times where I'm like, yeah, I agree with him. As much as I hate his guts,
What
dude.
happens when he gets 9 BP?
I'm not worried. Kay won't betray me.
How do you know that? Especially because of how many times you've been super ultra suspicious of me. I am so confused. But I have a feeling it's morphogenetic field stuff. I have a feeling she had flashbacks. And that's why.
How can you know that?
I just know, I guess.
Yeah, I think she had flashbacks. That's the only way that makes sense to me.
You just know? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Had something happened between Fi and Kay while they were out exploring? Oh, maybe that too.
I understand. I can hardly betray trust like that, can I? I will vote for our team.
Good. We're counting on you.
I've had enough of this bullshit.
Yet, Dio really hates, like,
Until
kindness and
Agatha
trust.
game polling
Yeah, I think that he just thinks that he's one of those people that thinks that it's stupid and that all he needs is himself. But I'm really wondering why, because I have a feeling it's because of trauma and not just because, you know, that's actually really true of him, you know what I mean? I really wonder what the fuck happened to him to make him such an asshole. Ace was evil, but he also struggled with the kind of shit I couldn't imagine. Even though I still don't feel like it was enough for him to be how he was. But I also have a feeling that maybe there's more to that than just being born with whatever that disorder is called, where you can't see faces. And I'm hoping that if that really is Ace there, we might find out more. But I hope there's more just compelling reason for him to be like that. You know? We'll see.
Come on, we need to hurry.
All right, you kids. Take care of those two, okay?
Of course.
We promise.
With that, we were off. Okay, so he is gonna vote. I gave one last quick nod to Fi and Clover before heading back to the warehouse at a dead run. Although Luna said she was gonna let him make it. But again, if Sigma stayed there, there wouldn't be the danger, right? So, but at the same time, I don't know. Everybody ready? I'm gonna open my AB gate, although I guess that doesn't really matter. Man, I'm so tempted to pick Betray because I really want to know what the fuck is behind the number 9 door. But I have this feeling that Sigma's gonna be stopped. Because I have a feeling that what's behind the number 9 door is gonna be the kind of thing that just like in 999, you're only gonna know in the true ending. But I'm tempted enough to do it, especially because Clover's fucked him over several times. I think she had good intentions each time, but still. Although granted, this time Alice is alive. Though I guess that doesn't really matter, Dio opened one earlier.
Then only you and I remain.
Right.
Okay, let's go. Well, yeah, wow, that is quite a motherfucking sparing ass. Yeah, there's only two, no, 3 are in play, right? 2 more AB gates slid open. We all shared one last look at each other before yeah, it's just Toime, OG, and Dio. And then, it just because of everyone that's either unconscious or watching the unconscious people. Alright, well, fuck, man. It's not smart to just go ahead and do it. But, man, do I or do I not? Because the thing is, I'm not really concerned with getting out, because I also know that that's not going to happen until the end of the game anyway. So, like, while I kind of want to know what's behind the number 9 door, if this is a short ending, I think I'll do that next, though.
2 minutes
Unless there's another green ending that opens
until
up.
Ambidex's game polling closes.
What are you going to do? I mean, how are you going to vote?
No question. If Clover isn't voting, then she's defaulting to ally. Betraying someone who isn't even playing hardly seems fair. You know what's weird? You always say, yeah, I'm definitely gonna choose this. But then you always have an option not to. I find that a weird and awkward way of doing this. Like, I feel like you shouldn't say one way or the other. Like, that Sigma should... Like, if I was writing this, I would literally just have him be vague about it up until the last minute, because you can still decide either way. But instead, he always definitively says, I'm gonna choose this. Well, not always, I think. But so many times he does, and then you still have a choice. That feels weird to me. But, oh well.
Of course, I think so too.
Ah, cute! But I almost guarantee you there's some important shit locked behind being a dick here. I hope not, because I can't do it. I'm too much of a softie, man. I know I just talked up about, oh man, Clover fucked me over a bunch of times, and I'm gonna fuck her over, and I really want to see the number 9 door. No, I can't do that right now. I might do it next, but I'll be more inclined to do any green ending that pops up, but if there isn't one...
I'm just glad to hear you say it.
Wah. Luna's face broke into a warm, happy smile. Wow. Not to be sappy, but it was like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. I grinned back at her before I knew what I was doing. For a minute, the notary game didn't seem so scary. And she spoke.
Sigma, what's wrong with your hand?
Oh, yeah. We haven't told everyone about how we found Alice, right? Huh?
There's something white on it.
There's what? Wait, excuse me? So his blood turned white. What the fuck does that mean? Huh? His blood turned white? Excuse me? I'm so confused. For the first time since I'd found Alice in the crew quarters, I looked down at my hand. Across the palm was some sort of strange white liquid. For a moment I thought I'd somehow touched some white paint or something similar. The truth was far stranger. The liquid was coming from my hand. Yeah, like, what the hell does white blood even fucking mean? It was coming from the cut I'd given myself when I grabbed the scalpel away from Alice. But why? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Where was the blood? Okay, apparently it's not blood. I felt a very odd sort of fear begin to wrap its hand around my throat. Quickly I held my palm against my chest. I shouldn't have let Luna see that.
Are you alright?
That's nothing. I went to the pantry and was looking for Alice. There was some milk and I spilled it. It sounded even stupider as I said it.
Really?
Yeah.
But...
Just shut up. I'm fine. It's fine, alright? I'm fine. Leave me alone. Jesus. I regretted the words the moment they were out of my mouth, but something was wrong, very wrong, and my hip was spitting.
Sigma...
Oh man, I'm so sorry. Just don't worry about it, okay?
30 seconds remain until polling closes.
I'm sure that's really important. And I have this feeling it's literally just morphogenic field stuff. But like, white stuff where blood used to be, I don't understand. But it's probably some other science fiction thing. I guess we'll see. But like, why is he afraid about that? wonder what that means. I guess we'll hopefully find out. Or at least, like, have hints about it. There's no time left. I have to vote. I turn to face the machine, and I'm going to choose ally. I have to. Took a few deep breaths, but the chaos in my mind refused to calm itself. Calm down, just calm down. You think about the game right now. Just forget about your hand. Who was I kidding? There's no way I can forget about something like that. I mean, I guess seeing something like that would be so jarring. Like, why the fuck is my hand full of white stuff when I know that it should have been blood?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's not letting me skip this. Interesting how it built up like that, but I'm allying. I have to. If I have to betray later, I have a feeling I have to go back and do the betrays, but at this point, I'm too much of a softie to just go and do all that, especially all at once. So what I'm probably going to have to do is, if I realize that I absolutely fucking have to, and I have this feeling I do, fuck Uchikoshi, man, but if I realize that, then, you know, after I've done all the other endings that don't require betraying, then, well, that's when I'll do them. Only then. I love this game, man. It grips the fuck out of my ass.
Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your Ambidex.
Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. But man, it's long. It feels so long to me. But a lot of it might be because of how many weeks I've spent on it, because I've only been recording this once a week. But even now that I'm doing it every day, it feels like there's so much left, and I played so much already. It's like, whoa. I could see the others filing out of their rooms as we did.
So you chose ally after all?
Yeah. To be honest, the AB game was the last thing on my mind. As chaotic as my thoughts were, they all centered on one thing. The mysterious white liquid.
Do you want to go see the results?
Sure. Although, granted, there's no reason to, for us. But as far as, I am kind of wondering how the other ones went, especially in this scenario. But, like, yeah, as far as our results, we know it's ally. Luna nodded and walked off toward the projection, but I couldn't move. I glanced around to make sure no one was watching and opened my hand. The liquid didn't seem to have clotted or run out, since it was still oozing thickly out of the slit in my— What the fuck? What in the hell is this? It couldn't be blood, could it? No, that was impossible. You know, how many white blood cells clumped together? You'd never get anything that looked like that. I'd never seen my blood do this before. In 22 years of life, I'd seen my body bleed many times. Scraped knees as a kid, accidental nicks with a knife as an adult. I'm sure everyone's been through that. I've seen myself bleed. But every single time, I'd bled red, just like any other human being. So why is it that this time it was fucking white? What the hell is happening to me?
Hey, Sigma, what are you doing? Get the hell over here. They're gonna show the results.
Yeah, I was not expecting this kind of revelation, but there's a lot of weird shit that happens in these games, so I need to expect the unexpected, basically. Yeah, right, on my way. I did my best to compose myself and headed over to join the others. I'm really wondering what the hell that could possibly mean. Has he bled before?
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed.
It wasn't shown before.
Please direct your attention to the results screen.
My brain's doing a really weird thing. I think he might be... Of course she allied. Why did it even do it? Oh, wow! Happy fun times this time. No one betrayed shit. Wow. Time for wholesomeness. Wow. This would make you the absolute biggest dickhead in the entire universe if you betrayed her here.
Or subtracted.
But again, I have a feeling it's absolutely necessary for something. I really hope not, but I think Uchikoshi wants us to do all the things. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a question mark there on the motherfucking...
To see your updated...
Either way, we'll see. But yeah, at this point, I'm only going to do all these betray endings when I have a choice. And this might be the last one I do unless there's any more that are as oof as this one.
This is incredible.
I do not like how creepy the music is here for how much wholesomeness should be occurring currently.
Look, everyone voted ally. You did just like you promised, Kay.
How could I choose Betray after what Phi said to me?
Tenmyoji and Dio voted ally too.
Of course. If we hadn't, Alice would have died.
Yeah, well, that's about it, I guess.
I wish I could enjoy this, but the music and also just... Why is there so much dread over the fact your blood's white? Although granted, yeah, if I bled white, I would also be freaking out.
We should thank the both of you as well. I'm happy to see you also chose ally.
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with it. That was all Sigma.
Then thank you very much, Sigma. Sigma? Sigma?
Come on, what's wrong? Just say something.
Huh? Oh yeah, looks like we all allied, that's great.
Sigma, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, you've been acting a little out of it ever since we came out of the AB rooms. What happened? You make it past at Luna and get shot down?
Jesus Christ, Dio. I mean, considering the fact that it is Sigma, I don't blame him for assuming that, but no, nothing like that.
Hey man, it was a joke. You remember what that is? A joke? You're in pretty bad shape, huh?
Before Dio could continue, the heavy metal rumble of doors shutting echoed through the warehouse. Don't worry about Sigma, guys. He's, maybe you shouldn't worry about it, but yeah, he's just freaking out about the fact that he's bleeding white, because that totally makes sense.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the star round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
We can open the gates as many times as we want to? Then that means...
We can play the AB game as many times as we like, right?
Hey, Zero Jr. said something about this, didn't he?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically!
Have we ever bled? I mean, granted, his palm was not shown until just now. Part of me is like, does this mean he's a Gaulem? But I don't think specifically bleeding white is something that Gaulem mentioned, but I don't remember. It might have been.
The parent solo assignment hop around a bit too!
I swear to God, every single time that line is repeated, it's different. Why didn't they use the same voice clip? I don't understand. Anyway.
Right. Sorry to be a pain, but could you all show me your bracelets? I want to see what all your colors and assignments are.
Everyone nodded and held their arms out toward him. I stared at them, terrified to follow suit, but certain that refusing would only draw more suspicion. So I held my arm out and tightened into a white-knuckled fist to hide the cut. When their eyes landed on my hand, my heart skipped a beat. Well, everyone has a fist, so that's good.
So Dio and Kay are a yellow pair. Luna and I are both pairs, but our colors are different.
Right. You're a cyan, and I'm magenta.
That makes Sigma the only solo, huh?
Interesting. That's unprecedented, isn't it? Isn't there usually more than one solo?
A red solo. So what are the 4 we left in the infirmary?
Luna
Oh,
and
never
I are
mind.
pairs, so 2 of them
Okay.
are our partners.
There's at least one other solo among those.
That means the other 2 are solos.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that clears that up.
Although, I guess we don't know what colors they are.
And also 2 of them are probably still going to be out of commission.
They're probably green and blue.
Why is that?
Didn't you see them? There are a bunch of white doors in the Floor B warehouse. They have to be the next set of chromatic doors.
Ah, yes. Phi and I saw them as well. On our way back from the garden with the unconscious Quark. And there they were.
I guess we're all gonna go check them out now. I wonder why the map is shown every time. I'm afraid that maybe it means that there's some kind of puzzle related to the map, and I hope I can do it, because I haven't really been paying a lot of attention to the map
Each
sections.
one had a box just like the doors on floor A. Given that, I don't see how there can be any question. Those white doors are our next set of chromatic doors.
I think that our bracelet combinations will have to add up to white in order to open the secondary doors. The pairs are cyan, magenta, and yellow.
But I do wonder if it's not purposeful for, like, the purposes of the puzzles or the story, then I do wonder why that's, like, a thing. Do they just want to show off the fact that they basically mapped out this whole facility as if it were real?
Yeah. If we need to make white, then the other 3 colors would have to be red, green, and blue.
Right.
I find it interesting. Most of the time, Sigma would be engaged in one of these discussions, but, you know, he's busy having basically an existential crisis now. Like, why the fuck is my blood white? What the fuck? Like, the idea of your blood running white, like, think about that. That is terrifying. It was hard for me at first to understand why he had the reaction he did, but, like, think about it. Like, you thought you knew something about your body, your whole life, and then all of a sudden, something happens like your blood changes color. That shouldn't happen, right? It's red, right? So, yeah. And then coupled with this generally oof as fuck absolute, like, stressful situation to begin with. But thankfully, Toime and Luna had the conversation in his loo. Because again, Sigma would probably be talking about this himself if he wasn't going completely nuts right now.
Good. Now that we've got that figured out, I'm heading back to the infirmary for a bit. I want to check up on Quark and Alice.
I shall accompany you then.
Might as well go with you, I guess. No real reason to hang out here.
Well, what will you two do?
I need to talk to Sigma about something.
Ah, the white, isn't it? About what?
Something?
Her usual pleasant expression had been replaced with something much more sullen. She must have noticed that there was something wrong with me. That was what she wanted to talk about. I was sure of it. Okay, fine. I managed to make my voice sound almost relaxed.
Whoa, hold on. A private talk?
Theo, please. It's not like that.
What are you guys plotting?
Oh, never
We're
mind.
not plotting anything.
Considering he made a joke about making a capacitor, I thought he was going to go the sexual route, but he's going more of the suspicion route, which is very Dio to do.
I promise, it's nothing.
Takes a snake to expect snakes around every corner, doesn't it? Because, like, if your nature is a snake, then you're going to expect everyone being a snake. Except, well, with this game, I'd say even the purest people playing this game, especially because I would like to think of myself as rather pure. I hope I'm not a complete dickhead and not realizing it, which probably means I'm not, so that's good. I hope so, anyway. But like, man, this game really makes you question humanity and people and doubt and oof, man. Oof.
Fine, whatever. See if I care.
Dio tossed his head with a mixture of arrogance and feigned disinterest. It sounds like, literally, he doesn't need to toss his head to do that. That's how he operates. And marched out the yellow door. Especially the arrogance. Toime and Kay quickly followed. In only moments, all 3 had disappeared. I love recording these videos. I don't know, the sheer joy I get from just fucking sitting here and talking over a video game. Like, the more I do it, the more I love it, dude. So, what was it you wanted to talk about? I was almost certain I knew, but there was always hope. I did my best to act as if I was genuinely confused.
Oh, I don't really like this room. Could we go somewhere else?
Okay.
Good. I found somewhere nice when I was looking for Alice earlier.
As strange as her request was, I had no reason to object. Is she gonna try to kill him? My brain. I'm wondering if this is where we might really find Luna's true colors that I think she's hiding underneath her super ultra kindness and friendliness and cute girl persona. Because I think that it's at least partly a persona. I kept my mouth shut and followed Luna as she headed off. If, of course, she's a murderer. Or it's not a persona and she just had really, really good reasons to kill that woman. Unless she didn't kill her, at least out of malice. What if it was like... I don't know, man. I'm not going to speculate about this anymore. I've been doing that the whole game, and there's just no answers, so I'm only going to get them way later. Maybe not even in this goddamn game, knowing how many loose ends are still not tied up from 999, and may not be even after. I bet the ending of Zero Time Dilemma is super fucking ambiguous. I don't want it to be, but I almost guarantee you it probably is. But of course, I don't fucking know. And I won't know until I get there, which is going to be a while. The garden. I had a feeling it would be the garden for some reason, because, you know, what else in this place would be described as nice, right?
You know this place?
Yes. Well, sort of. I came here once when I was looking for Alice. Okay, this is the route where we found her in the garden.
Oh, I see.
So, what brings you here?
Isn't this nice? This is the only place in the whole facility with anything green. I feel kind of silly saying it, but it makes me think of the great outdoors.
Why would you feel silly at that? It's the only great outdoors-ish thing we have any access to. Especially because the glass dome literally looks out over what seems to be a sky. Though I think it's like holographic or something?
I think it's the perfect place for a serious conversation. Being surrounded by nature makes me feel happy. Oh, there's a bench over there. Would you like to sit down with me?
She sat down softly and gently, and I lowered myself down next to her. So what did you want to talk to me about? Instead of answering, Luna lifted the tiny bird Here we go! I had a feeling this might have something to do with her pendant, but I didn't say it just in case it wasn't true. Pendant she wore in the palm of her hand. She was silent for a moment, then began to talk.
Can I tell you something? This is actually a music box.
Really?
Yes.
Here we go. Now we learned this in actuality, instead of just from a file. She twisted the key on the bottom, and it made an almost imperceptible winding noise. That's a really good sound design, by the way. The winding, the music, the rushing water. When she released it, soft, clear notes drifted out. I would say that sound design is one of the best strengths of this entire franchise so far. It's a nice song. Why'd you bring that up, though?
Because I wanted you to know, I guess. I wanted you to know more about me. Maybe it's because I'm so shy, but I don't really have any friends. Or even any acquaintances, really. So I've sort of always been alone. It was really hard. I felt so lonely a lot of the time. And it hurt. It felt like I was just kind of going to collapse from the inside out.
Big oof, because I sort of feel that a little bit.
That was when I got this music box. Someone very important gave it to me. They didn't say anything, but I felt like there was an unspoken message behind it. Luna, happiness is closer than you think. Do you know Maeterlinck's The Bluebird?
Yeah? Well, I know the gist of it. I think it starts on Christmas Eve. This brother and sister named Tittle and Mittel get asked to find a bluebird by this old woman, and they travel to the dream world. I don't think I've heard of this story, but it's probably one of those classic stories. Or something. Anyway, supposedly if you can catch this bird, then you can make a wish come true. So they visit all these different places, but they can't find it. Eventually they give up and go home, but when they wake up, the bird is in a bird cage in their hut.
That's right. It's a well-known story, and it teaches a simple lesson.
Yeah, like you said, happiness is closer than you think. And I agree with that. I agree with that 100-fold. I used to try to push myself to frickin' get a job, and like, oh, if I had this kind of life, I'd be better, but now I feel better, period, because I'm doing this YouTube and pretty much and other things that I like doing in this exact same situation that I've been, otherwise, I felt stuck in my life for until the last couple of years, and now I don't, just because I changed up some of the things that I do. So I 100% agree with her on this.
Right. It got me thinking. Maybe the person who gave me this music box was trying to tell me just that. I don't know if that's true. Maybe all of this is just in my head, but I really felt like that was what they'd meant. It was so kind. I kept it with me all the time, like a kind of good luck charm. But one day I realized something. There was another meaning to the bluebird. In Maeterlinck's original story, it doesn't end with them waking up.
Just like a lot of the other things that have been adapted to media, apparently it was originally different. There's more?
Yes. When Till and Nittle try to feed the bird, it leaves the cage and flies away. And then the story ends.
Whoa. What about the moral then?
It changes. Now the message is that just when you think you found happiness, you'll lose it again.
Jesus Christ. I mean, granted, I get that, but, like, I also don't really agree with that. Because I think you can maintain a mindset where the happiness that you have is something that is not tied to the world and is in your... It's in your mind, it's in your heart. And I would say I've reached that point, and that you can feel like this is the truth here. You know, that when you think you found happiness, you'll lose it again. But what the actual key to lasting happiness is, and I think so many wise people will tell you the exact same thing, people that have been through it all, older people, I've talked to people who have said this sort of thing before. I've heard it from all sorts of gurus and etc., that, like, it makes a lot of sense, right? We all know that everything changes all the time in the world. It's obvious, right? So if you base your happiness on that, it's gonna suck. Thankfully, you don't have to do that. I can guarantee you that, because I feel like I'm now basing my happiness on just enjoying what comes my way and what I can do in the moment that I enjoy and that brings me joy, and enjoying the things that I'm grateful to have, and etc. Not trying to cling to something that I don't possess, which I think a lot of people do, and that's, I think, why a lot of people are unhappy. Either that you don't possess or that could be lost, because the thing is that the things that I love, like, yes, I love doing this stuff, and if somehow I lost my computer or the internet stopped working or whatever, right? Like, I don't think I'd actually lose the joy that I have. I would understand how to find it in other things. I know this because there used to be a lot more situations in which I was unsteady and unhappy until I got back to my room and was able to do what I loved. But now, I would say that there's more times where I'm happier. All the time, so I don't really agree with that, but I can certainly understand why a lot of people would, and that's a sad thing to feel about life, but I promise you that it's only true as long as you believe it. Everything like this, in my opinion, is only true as long as you believe it. And that goes perhaps even doubly so for the positive ways you can think about life, because it's been scientifically proven that we have a negative bias. However, I can promise you that you can mitigate your negative bias and just have a better life because of completely mental things you're doing, and you don't have to have your life change in any kind of real physical way. I promise, because it's changed a lot for me in a mental way while staying stagnant, because in order to stay sane, I had to figure out my mental shit, you know? Anyway.
I thought about that for a while, but in the end, it didn't change how I felt.
I like that. I like that a lot, because a lot of people would just give in to that and be sad about it for, like, maybe the rest of their lives. There's probably a lot of people like that, and I hope that, like, the kinds of deep shit I talk about in these videos are helpful for people. And I have heard sentiments of that in the comments. Thank you all for that. Mostly, I think I remember, if you're watching this, and I think you probably are because you're awesome, Nintendo Company Porn Conspiracy, I remember you commenting about this, and it really touched me. So, you're awesome.
I don't know what they intended it to mean when they gave it to me, but I decided how I was going to look at it. It means that happiness is something you should always be looking for, and it's only when you're pursuing happiness that you're truly happy.
I think that's about right.
You know, Sigma, I think you might be Til-Til.
What?
You know, the boy who the old lady asked to find the bluebird on Christmas Eve.
What are you trying to say?
Can I ask you something?
Sure?
Where did you find Alice?
What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer me. Where did you find Alice?
Room 2 in the crew quarters.
Where were you before that?
I was in the lounge. That was after we'd split up to go look for Alice. The first place I went was the lounge.
So you went from the lounge to the crew quarters, where you found Alice, and then you rushed her to the infirmary, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me this then. How do you know about the garden? Just now you said you'd come here when you were looking for Alice. Didn't you?
Yeah. She realized that he knows things he shouldn't, because morphogenetic fields. And by the way, a lot of these games, the games that have multiple endings, I'm starting to really appreciate how this series does it. Because I know it ties into the themings and everything of changing the past, but most games, yeah, I think you unlock endings by doing other endings, but there isn't like a meta sense of you've actually been there before, of like deja vu like this. Like, there aren't things like this, where it's, like, literally meta that you've experienced it before, kind of, because of the whole morphogenic fields thing. I think that's basically what it is. I used to think it was more like you'd actually lived that life and died, and then, like, time rewinded, but no, I think it's literally just... You had flashes of other things that could have happened, and then you use that information to make a different outcome than what would have happened otherwise. I think that's exactly what happens in these games. So, I don't know, I love that idea of, like, you know, lots of games have had multiple endings for, you know, ever since I think probably even, like, the super early, like, NES days or whatever. Like, that's been a thing. I love how this game uses that. It's not just, oh, you do this ending and then you can do a different one. It's, yeah, that's true. But, like, it's literally canon. It's not just, you know, you load a save and then the story continues because you unlocked a thing in a video game. I mean, of course, yes, that is literally what happens here, but what I mean is that it's woven into the story. It's like a kind of story gameplay integration that I'm not aware of any other game that at least I've played or heard of having done something like that except for Nocia. And I fucking love games that do this. These are the only 2 games that I know of, well, 4 games, I guess, that do this. Yeah, Nocia and this series. And probably also AI the Somnium Files, though I don't know. I'm just guessing because it's Ushikoshi. And if he doesn't do that kind of clever thing with it, I'm pretty sure he does other clever things with that series. Like, super clever. I guess I should say they is in Spike Chunsoft, because now I'm aware from reading the credits there's definitely other writers involved here. Also, this kind of super deep stuff is why I love game stories so much, which is probably part of why I am loving this series so much, the more that I delve into it. Because it's got a lot of this deep stuff. And I would say it's an example as to how games can be very beneficial for a person's growth. Like, stories like this, that are so philosophically, they make you think philosophically. You know, I don't know how else to say that. And it's, I think that's an important thing for growing as a human. And becoming better able to deal with life and live it without a whole lot of suffering compared to before. You were made to think about things like this because of stories like this, and I would say that games have a very unique position as far as a medium in letting you absorb yourself into these sorts of things in a way that other stories don't, because at the end of the day, I always feel more attached to game stories than other types of stories, more or less. And I think it's because you literally have to work to see the story, you have to do things, you have to be the character in a way, in some pretty immersive ways in some games, and so it's like, games, I'd say, are a lot more beneficial than most people realize. Even gamers. We think they're an escape, but they can be a very powerful tool for growth if we just think of them like that. And I've been thinking of them like that for years, and I would say that they have helped me more than hurt me. And I honestly think it's because I think of them that way. I'm not just trying to escape life by playing a game. I've kind of never been like that. I've always been excited to play a game. Like, I play a lot of games, but I don't think I'm addicted, and I don't think that they're a detriment to my life at all. And I'm aware that for a lot of people they are, and I think the difference there is how they think about them. They want to escape life with games, and that's why they turn to games, apparently. I don't know, there were times that I've been like that, but my predominant reason, I think, to play games has always been excitement for, you know, what the game's gonna make me feel, or what's gonna go on with this character, or what's gonna happen next, or how this is gonna feel, or, you know, how I can get better at this, and how I can solve this puzzle and do this level better, or, you know, like, it's a joy, it's an excitement. I think people that are addicts and want to quit games it's because they have an unhealthy relationship with games to begin with. I would always say that while a lot of people would probably disagree, I've always had a rather healthy relationship with games. To the point where I always felt like I knew that even when I played games instead of doing schoolwork, doing homework, I knew that I was not fucking up my life. Because I've always had an extreme passion for this, and I've always felt disconnected from the idea of doing a normal job. I now realize that all I want to do with my life is be a goddamn nerd for a living. And I know there's more and more ability for me to do that, and I have all the tools I would possibly need to do it, other than already having the views and such that I would need to start making money out of this. So what I've started to realize is that when you have those kind of inklings as a kid, you might brush them off later as, oh, a silly dream, and I think sometimes they might be. But in my case, it was not. I've always wanted to just be a nerd, you know? That might manifest as more of a different kind of job than YouTube eventually, or Twitch or what have you. Or at least, you know, alongside this stuff. I think it may as well, especially because I think I will also involve myself in writing in some way. All I know is that I'm 28 years old and I need to get somewhere with my life at some point soon. Because you know, the parents are aging and all that, and all I know is that no matter how much just going and getting any normal job would be a little bit more of, okay, whew, financial security, okay, I've got it. I've done enough normal jobs to know that I couldn't stick with that long enough for it to make much of a difference. I would quit, I wouldn't have much more money than what I started with. I need to make all of my money through what I love. I've realized that. And I need to make money at my own pace and not prioritize making money as well. And I almost guarantee that life is facilitating that for me, because I don't have to survive on my own yet. If there comes a point where I suddenly absolutely have to, then, well, I'll do what I have to, won't I? But unless I have to at that, like, immediately, people become miserable by just being like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking do whatever job I have to in order to be independent. And that's their whole goal. And then they're miserable. So I refuse to do that.
There wouldn't have been any time for you to visit the garden while you were looking for Alice. So tell me, Sigma, how do you know about this place?
Well, meta bullshit. I didn't know what to say. Ooh, that's an interesting mosaic there in the bottom of the fountain. I couldn't even explain it to myself. Why had I told her I knew about the garden? Because you do, because of the flashbacks. Actually, wait, no, not the he didn't have a flashback about this, but, like, I still think it's more for genetic fields. Why had I told her I'd been there before?
Sigma, are you...
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Have you always
Okay,
been...
so, I will confess, okay, well, I think I already said that I've thought, wait, she knows about the golems. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, wait, was he always a golem? Was he always a golem? Where the golem not fine? Then what the actual fuck does that mean? What?
See, it would make so much sense if you were. That would explain why you knew about the garden, and it would explain that cut on your left hand.
So that's like oil or something, it's not blood. Damn, so you did see it, huh?
Yes, I've been told that robots these days have what's called artificial biological tissue, or ABT, on top of a metal skeleton. It makes them look almost exactly like a human, and ABT uses this white liquid instead of blood.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're the golem. I honestly didn't expect that twist. Uchikoshi's done it again, although, again, the moment I saw the white blood, my brain went there, but not until then. Not until this route. I always thought it was 5. For some reason, when Luna had called me a robot, it hadn't really fazed me. Maybe because it was just so out there. It didn't sound like a real possibility. What if he was, like, put in the golem somehow? That's terrifying. It sounded more like a theory you'd get from someone in a nut house. Still, my hand was oozing white liquid. Was I really a robot? No, that was impossible. I think you weren't, and then you were put in the robot somehow consciously. Like your brain or something. I don't want to think about it. I needed to stop doing that. Questioning myself so much was giving me heart palpitations. Luna, aren't you a little scared?
Scared? Why would I be scared?
Well, let's say I am a robot. That means there's a pretty good chance Zero's pulling my strings. That would make me your enemy.
Well, even if you were, I wouldn't be scared.
Interesting. I didn't mean to cut off her, I guess so. I never mean to cut off characters when they're voice acting. I just tend to do it by pressing buttons too fast. Why not?
Maybe because you're a robot. Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
Oh, yeah. I wondered when this would come.
They were a set of rules created by the science fiction author Isaac Asimov that he used in several of his stories.
Rule 1. A robot may not injure a human being through an action allow a human being to cause harm. Rule 2. A robot must obey any orders given to it by human beings, except when such orders would conflict with the first law. Rule 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Oh yeah, I've heard of those before. That's just an ideal, though. You could work toward that, but I don't think you could ever actually achieve it. I mean, depending on how you programmed them, robots could do pretty much whatever you want.
Yes, you're right, but I believe in them. In you. However you're programmed, I don't think you'd break any of the 3 laws. A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic. That's not you. You have a heart. You're a good person. It's in your eyes.
Interesting.
Well, I guess I'm just kind of assuming you're a robot. There's still a chance you're not. We should run some tests.
Tests?
Yes.
How?
Well, the Atom should be able to tell us.
Huh. Oh yeah, that thing in the infirmary. I heard the crunch of dried leaves behind us. When I turned, there was no... Someone was eavesdropping on them. But who?
Is someone there?
Just me.
Oh boy. Fi?
Sorry, but can you guys come over here?
I hope she didn't hear that, but I kind of doubt it would affect
I
much
need you
if
to
she
see
did.
something.
Luna and I looked at one another, shrugged, and stepped into the bushes.
Welcome.
What? How long have you been here?
Just got here a little while ago.
Did you hear what we were saying?
No. Were you talking about something you didn't want me to know about? Whatever. Just have a look at this.
Followed the line of her finger. Okay, there's the bomb. Which is why this ending just got unlocked, because we need to disarm this, and we have the code for that. Shit, this is...
An antimatter bomb.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure someone didn't move it here from the crew quarters. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's an entirely different bomb. Look at the number on the side.
It says 01.
And the one in the crew quarters said 3, right? Then that must mean...
Shit, then there's no question, huh?
I've got more good news. Just think about the numbers for a moment.
You're saying there's a 2 bomb out there somewhere?
I can't be sure, but it does seem pretty likely.
Damn it. That means we're dealing with a combined explosive power equal to 3 tons of TNT.
Yeah.
Who planted them?
Was it you guys?
Why the fuck would we do that or have the ability?
I mean, you've been in here quite a while.
Hey, don't give me that. You're way more suspicious than we are. What were you doing in the bushes anyway?
Well, I was taking a walk.
Taking a walk? You really think I'm gonna buy that?
Fine. You got me. I heard you two were off talking in secret, so I got curious and went back to the Floor A warehouse. Of course you weren't there. That seemed pretty suspicious to me, so I headed here. And just as I'd suspected, there you were, talking on the bench. You snuck up from behind so you wouldn't notice me. Then, just as I was getting close enough to hear, I found the bomb. So, believe me now?
So, who planted the bomb?
Honestly, it could have been any one of us. Anybody could have come here while we were all looking for Alice.
We need to tell everyone about this
Well,
then.
what I'm wondering about is where the hell they're hiding the bombs before they plant them. Yeah, you're right. Let's head back to the infirmary. Everyone else was already there when we arrived. Clover and Temiyoji, Kay and Dio, and of course Alice and Quark. Both seemed to be sleeping peacefully. You'd never think to look at them that they've been completely insane not so long ago. Alright everybody, listen up. I told them how we'd found the #1 bomb in the garden. And how, judging by the numbering on the 2 bombs we'd found so far, there was probably a #2 bomb somewhere out there somewhere too.
Oh, this is bad. What are we going to do?
Well, I think Alice mentioned something.
There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, well, deactivate. You see it right here. There's a port. If we can find the password input device, we just connect it here. Then we can enter the password.
Wait, I don't think we have the
So if
input
we have
device
the
though.
password, we can deactivate them?
Oh, whoa, hold on a second. That's great and all, but we need that password input device she was talking about. Without that, we're still boned even if we did have the password.
Yeah. That's why I want all of you to let me search you.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me. Chances are whoever planted those bombs is in this room. There's also a good chance they've also got the device we need to deactivate the bombs.
So you're planning to search us for it?
Exactly.
But...
No buts. If you refuse, then I'll assume it's because you've got it and you planted the bombs. Unless you want that, I suggest you cooperate. Clear?
Listen, I'm all for this, because I would... Listen, if I can put her hands all over me any day, I mean, what?
Good. Now who's going to be first?
Me. What?
Huh?
Wait. You only need to search one person.
What? Why?
Because I figured out who did it. I know... Wait, what? Do we? I know who did it. Wait, what? The words were out of my mouth before I'd even realized I was saying them.
How can you... There's no way.
Yeah. I met Fi's gaze and nodded and turned away. I know who set the bombs. That person... That person, you did it. This is a very Phoenix Wrighty like screen and scene here. The room was suddenly silent. In fact, that's literally he literally points like that when he goes objection. It's funny. Of course, that's one of these to be continued endings. God damn it. But I wonder if we already have. No, we don't already have it. Nope. Okay. Alright, yeah, we're gonna leave this here for now. Because my brain is exploding, because that was a lot of exposition. So, I'll see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked it. That'd be really helpful. And I'll see you in the next one. Hell yeah.